Uh, yeah. Today, I have been rendered utterly speechless. I'm speechless. Now, as I collect myself over here, I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all what I just saw not too long before you're now seeing it. So let's just go ahead and just jump right into this one. No intro necessary. Yeah. I mean, I could literally just finish the video right here, and I think this right here would be enough. But there's more.
I said there is no way we are going to this event now. There's a 0% chance. First and foremost, why are you saying invite? Anybody can go to it. You just buy a ticket to the event, and you're all working to try to get me to confirm that I'm going. And you're doing this as if you're trying to like push my buttons and be like, we got to make her get into her ego so she like shows up and like posts it on social media. Nope. Actually, while I'm attacking the feds, maybe not going to a public event, which the feds are organizing, is probably a very good idea. I'm good. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna listen to Power on my headphones and go see Yay. How's that for a memorial for Charlie Kirk? That feels like the right thing for me to do right now.
Now, before we even get into the messiness of this one, I want to take a quick moment to first and foremost send my condolences to Erica Kirk, her beautiful babies, but I want to specifically focus on her, who is currently aware of the devious way in which El Cucu La Candice has been approaching this subject of her husband's assassination. So, to Erica, I am so sorry that you have to go through what you're currently going through. It was enough to see the demonically possessed left lose their ever-living minds as they celebrated the assassination of not just an innocent man, but a man who looked to wake them up and looked to get them saved. I'm sorry, Erica. I am sorry for the existence of Cuckoo Candace. Not Candace Owens. That is God's child, created in the image and likeness. But the rendition that we are now experiencing as Cuckoo Candace, I apologize personally for. And so long as I have breath in my lungs and the will of God on my life, we're going to get into it on your behalf. So this woman here is now claiming that, essentially, she may not be attending a man who she claims was one of her closest friends and nothing ever happened to their relationship, right? According to her, of course. And of course, after Charlie's demise, claiming that they were as close as they ever were. Now, other sources would say the complete opposite, but okay, let's go ahead and take your word for it. She is stating how she will likely not be attending Charlie's vigil, his memorial, his actual funeral. I don't know if I said vigil at first, but what I mean is his actual memorial, his actual funeral service. Now, I assume that this is going to be a private/public celebration of Charlie's life, as well as, grieving and mourning his loss. I assume it's going to be both public and private at some extent. What I also know is that the people who are closest to Charlie at the time of his assassination have not invited Cuckoo Candace to this private gathering. I know that for a fact. In my heart of hearts, I am certain that the closest people to Charlie, including Erica, have not invited her. And the reason should be obvious for most people out there, but there's still many who are caught up in the cult of Candace. Now, Why does she feel the need to, articulate to her cult of personality, the cult of cuckoo? Why does she feel the need to let them know that she will not be attending the funeral, or likely won't be? And we're going to get to the yay comment in a second. It's still holds true in the good old book that what comes after pride is always destruction, or essentially your fall. It is a guaranteed formula. Pride, fall, pride, fall, pride, fall. 10 times out of 10. So back to the point at hand. She has to express outwardly that she will not be attending, and she alludes to her being in some sort of battle with the feds. I genuinely think this woman lives in a different universe than the rest of us, in a different planetary system. I don't know if it's somewhere in the in-betweens of dimensions. I'm not quite sure on that one. It is likely close to the pits of hell. And I'm not meaning that sarcastically. I mean that actually, because it's looking real demonic out here as far as the lying, as far as the misguiding and misleading people claiming to be a follower of Christ and then doing the exact opposite in everything, coming from a place of genuine disdain and hatred and likely hatred, feeling some type of way, and you never dealt with that. It says in that good old book, you need to deal with your anger. You can't go to sleep in your anger. Don't act on that anger, but instead you have made it a personality type. This is what has happened in real time here. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Wake up. Wake up. There are folks praying for you. There are folks hoping that something they can do from the outside can impact you inside, because it seems that you have no sort of guidance in your life right now. Who loves you enough to tell you the truth around you? I don't know if it's going to be Russell Brand. If you get a chance to see this ever, please go talk to your friend. Now, if you are just as cuckoo as she is, then I guess we can't help the neither of y'all. But somebody close to her, please have a conversation with her. We are getting to the point of absolute urgency. Now, you are causing people to fall left and right. You're causing people to step into the same hatred that you have festered within yourself. And as long as I can stand for it, I can't. As long as I can sit for it, I won't. I'm going to speak on it exactly how I see it. So we have that part right there, right? Oh, they're trying to trick me into using or falling into my ego. That was a very interesting comment if y'all caught that one. Nobody said anything about you, making the event about yourself due to your enormous ego, which to me is acronym for edging God out. But it seems that was the first thing on your psyche because, well, it turns out that that is your God, your ego. To make everything about yourself that has literally nothing to do with you seems to be the way in which you roll in life. Charlie and the celebration of his life is about Charlie. Charlie's creator and Charlie. That's it. That's who's invited to that. Then in the next outer circle is his wife, his children, his mother, his father, those in his truest inner circle. Then you have business associates, partners, etc. Then you have the rest of the world, etc. Right? I'm not quite sure where you fall in these inner circles, but what I know for a fact is that you don't fall into the inner circle of God and Charlie. So yes, this is not about you. The feds are probably more annoyed by you than threatened by you. But I know, again, in your delusions of grandeur, you believe that all things revolve around the world of Cuckoo herself. And Cuckoo, Cuckoo. Now, the second part is interesting to me personally because I have, and so have many of the individuals who tune into this show. We've come to the conclusion that you will not be denouncing two reprehensible individuals, two men who exemplify the very opposite of what you claim to be about, El Cuckoo. You claim to be a Christian woman, God-fearing woman. You claim to care so much about the values that are presented through Christianity, the virtues that are aligned with Christ. Goodness as opposed to wickedness. That's what you say. Again. Your own words will convict you. You're going to be matched up with your own words. This is what you have said. This is what you continue to articulate to the rest of us in the world, sis. So why is it that these two men who have shown themselves as, I'm not going to say irredeemable individuals, because everybody is, right? That is the love of God. It is for all. And all can make that choice. But these are two men who have chosen anything but that. They are the gods of self, which is, I guess it's fitting that you are sort of in that company. So you have Andrew and you have Kanye. Now, for some reason, I guess maybe you're looking for a sense of comedic relief at the end of that statement, but you claim that maybe your memorial or your version of Charlie's funeral is going to be you listening to Kanye West perform his song, Power. Now, I wasn't planning on doing this, but I realized as I looked at my watch that today I got time. Yeah, I got time today. So let's go ahead and bring up the lyrics to Power by Kanye West. You know, he changes his name every week. It's Kanye, then Yeezy, and then Ye, and then Ye. That one definitely didn't fly. Nobody caught on to the Ye one. I saw a post about that once and it never hit off. So let me go ahead and open this up for y'all. Look, folks, I'm not doing this on purpose. I'm telling y'all right now, this is not on purpose. What y'all see that is her face. I just realized that my screen is all the way off. Sorry to the folks who can't stand to see those unalignments there in my screen. Sometimes I literally can't see where it stops and starts, so I have to make it a lot bigger or hope for the best. So anyway, let's go ahead and get these lyrics for Power up. So this is what Candace will be doing instead. Can we not have that in the corner? Yes, we can. All right. Oh, no, we don't need that. Sorry, Lilo and Stitch. All right. I'm living in the 21st century, doing something mean to him, doing better than anybody you've ever seen do it. Screams from the haters, got a nice ring to it. Ugh. This does sound like something that'll be playing in her head 24/7. I guess every superhero needs his theme music. Oh, cuckoo, cuckoo. Oh. No one man should have all that power. The clock's ticking. I just count the hours. Stop tripping. I'm tripping off the power. 21st century schizoid man. Am I reading that correctly? The system broken, the schools closed, the prisons open. We ain't got nothing to lose. Mother effer, we rolling. Huh? Mother effer, we rolling. With some light-skinned girls and some Kelly Rowlands. I'm not going to lie, that's a bar. But, surprise, Candace. Candace with the cross in the back. This is the type of music that you're getting into, huh? That you will use in celebration of your alleged closest friend. Okay. This is way too much. I need a moment. No one man should have all that power. The time's ticking. I just count the hours. Stop tripping. I'm tripping off the power. Sounds very cuckoo. Till then, F that. The world's ours. Okay. If I was to, and we'll get back into that. If I was to create a theme song for Beelzebub himself, the fallen angel, the one who believed himself to be equal to God, right? The one whose godhood was in self. And I know a little something about this. I came from the New Age. I know what it is to make yourself God. Make yourself the end all be all. This may be offensive to some folks who started following me back then when I had that type of content. I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm going to say it as it is. Simple as that. We have a creator. We're made in the image and likeness of that creator. But don't get it twisted. You and I are not that creator. Now, Kanye would tell you a little different himself. Candace, if she were to be all the way honest, or maybe even have the level of self-awareness that, ironically, crazy enough, Kanye has, that's like saying, the patience of a goldfish, right? Kanye's the goldfish, and yet Candace has lesser of, you catch what I'm throwing with that metaphor. So what do we have next? Yeah, the world is ours. Yep, go figure. FSNL and the whole crew tell him Yeezy said they can kiss my whole More specifically, they can kiss my at-hole. I'm an at-hole. The N-words got jokes. The short-minded N-word thoughts is Napoleon. My fur is Mongolian. My ice bought the goalies in. I embody every characteristic of the egotistic. Does this not... Look, I told y'all today, I had time. I just didn't know we were going to get into this specifically, but this is probably the best insight we're getting into the egomaniac that we're dealing with in this current time, space, reality. Again, she can save herself from this by leaning on the one who came to save her. She really could, but that's going to be a personal choice. Will she make it? Only time will tell. What else do you have? Of the egotistic. Let's see. He knows he's so effing gifted. It's probably how she's feeling. I'm so gifted. I'm just asking questions. I'm gifted at asking questions. I just needed this time alone with my own thoughts. Got treasures in my mind, but couldn't open up my own vaults. Yeah. My childlike creativity, purity, and honesty. I'm the humblest. You ever heard that one? Like, I'm just the humblest. My childlike creativity, my purity, and my honesty is honestly being crowded by these grown thoughts. Oh yeah, it is being crowded by some thoughts. Well, some demonic thoughts. That's what that is. Reality is catching up with me, taking my inner child. I'm fighting for custody. That's kind of a bar right there. It's kind of a bar. With these responsibilities that they entrust me as I look down at my diamond encrusted piece. Yep. Got to always bring it back to the chain. When you are a slave, you are in love with the chains. Let's see. Colin Powell, Austin Powers, lost in translation with the whole effing nation. They say I was the abomination of Obama's nation. The abomination makes a lot of sense. Another bar. Well, that's a pretty bad way to start the conversation. At the end of the day, God, I'm unaliving this ish. I know damn well. I'm feeling like Ben Shapiro reading lyrics. That's I know better well. Y'all feeling this ish. I don't need your kitty B word. I'm on my own man part. So look, I don't need your vajayjay woman in a derogatory term. I'm on my own. Yikes. I ain't got a power trip. Who you going home with? How ye doing? I'm surviving. I was drinking earlier. Now I'm driving. Fantastic. Just exuding morality. Oh my goodness. You know what I realized? My face has been on these lyrics. I am so sorry, folks, but we're not turning back now. I got time, but not that type of time. You understand me? So I might have to cover my face with this or something because y'all might have missed out on about half these lyrics. What else we got here? I got power. Make your life so exciting. Okay. Where's the bad bees at, huh? Where are you hiding? I got the power. Make your life so exciting. This is the song that El Cucurocha will be listening to on the day of Charlie's memorial. Now, of course, they're going to say, oh, it was a joke. He can't take no joke. He's so serious. No, here's the thing. I know where to take humor and I know when to read into something. There's a reason she said what she said. There's a reason. And maybe she's alluding to the fact that we've called that out time and time again as the people to say, why do you still have this relationship? And yes, to this point, she still has not made any real responsible commentary around the man they call Kanye West. Because to be honest, he still means too much to her ego. It's the same thing with Andrew. They still feed into her narcissism. And honestly, her fan base is in the very same place. Those who still latch onto her, they resonate. That's a word. They resonate with her. They feel her. They get where she's coming from. I know that sounds crazy to y'all, but you have to take yourself out of the mind frame of you in, your bit of humanity and decency and step into the world of a person who has given that up for power. I've said this for a while now, not because I'm some, original thinker. Well, I would hope to be, saying the things that are coming to my spirit, but it's not because I'm the first person to have this thought in the world. I simply see it as relatively obvious that this woman's God is power. She has always been after power. It's not about the money, folks. There are those who money is indeed their God, like the actual financial resources. Then there are those who get the greatest high off of being worshipped. Kanye is one of those. Some folks think Kanye cares about the money. He cares about the money this much, about influence that much. We're getting out of screen here. Cuckoo, Candace, candy of our eye, candy apple. She will still be the candy of our eye because we want the best for her when it's all said and done. We can kiki and joke over here, etc. And we see the vile things that she has been engaging in and the things that she has been doing and saying in the worship of herself. But we still do want the best. You're still the candy of our eye, candy. But you're still cuckoo as hell. You really are that. You're being cuckoo. Cuckoo. You're being three variants of cuckoo. And yes, it is coming from your addiction to power, control. That's why it's coercion, manipulation, lies, whatever is necessary to get and galvanize the people around you, whatever people they may be. You don't care if they are literal demons. I feel she doesn't care, folks, because why would you want that audience? Some I learned early on when I first started making content and, figuring myself out, etc. And that's a lifetime thing. But I do remember having a sense of relief when I finally started losing certain followers, because I realized that these are not the people that you want to be in community and in relationship with in this sort of way. Like, I was feeding into people who were probably narcissistic or had those tendencies and, self-absorbed. I was talking about things like self-love, etc. And, really thinking I was speaking through, but really I wasn't speaking to anybody at all. Because a lot of these same individuals, once it turned out that I had a differing opinion on a few things in life, all of a sudden I was the enemy. And so I am well aware that not every grouping, every audience is necessarily one that you want to attract or connect yourself to, unless you are tripping off the power. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Now, if you'd like to stay around, make sure to click that little subscribe button down there, or you can show some love by going to the description below and clicking on the button titled Buy Me a Coffee. Leave a little something there, or click on the Cash App. Leave a little something here. Till the next time, peace.